Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. It's a kitchen video today and I'm going to be just talking about a company that I've been dealing with for the last 18 months, which I'm not going to be recommending at all. So if you're new here, I'm Emma and I do all different kinds of videos. We do holidays, we do days out, and mainly I want my channel to move more towards healthy living, mind and body. So that's to do with this video today. So basically I'm very much interested in water, like a lot of people are. You know, there's more information now about the water that's coming to us, that's available to us and what's in it. So for the past quite a fair few years, maybe 5 to 10 years, I've been looking into water filters. I've had all different ones. I'm trying different things. I'm seeing what feels good for my body, what's convenient, what gives the best results, different things like that. So about 18 months ago, I saw this reverse osmosis machine. That's obviously an option you can go for when you're trying to find a water filter that suits you. Obviously you'd have to look into the ins and outs of what that does to the water. But I found a company, it kept popping up like these companies do online, on social media, popping up, and you know, they sold it to me. It seemed like a really good machine, it looked smart, it wasn't that expensive, you know, they made out they had all these deals on, so I bought the machine. So the company is called Skuma Water. And it's a London-based company here in the UK. And what I didn't know at the time when I bought the machine was that they are kind of like a trial company. They have got a product, and I've only learnt this from speaking to them and pestering them over the last 18 months, which I'll go into in a minute. But yeah, I only found this out because I kept talking to them, asking them what is going on with these machines. So they said, oh, you know, we've come up with a product, but it's kind of still in the works, which that is not what it's made out to be on the website, on the advertisements. So the reason I'm making this video now, I mean, I was just gonna forget about this machine, but I thought, no, I'll talk about it because it is ridiculous, to be honest, what I've gone through with these machines. So I bought my first machine back in, it was 2023. It was about December 2023. It might have been between October and December 2023. And I bought it, I set it up, I got the added minerals, which you can pay extra for on a monthly subscription, and I put them in and I thought, brilliant, off we go. You know, it was very convenient. The kids were helping themselves to water with a click of a button. All I had to do was obviously refill it. The kids could help themselves to fresh, lovely reverse osmosis water. So this is the machine here. It's quite big. A lot of people are put off by how big it is because a lot of people haven't got room for it. So just turn that around. So yeah, this is the machine. It does take up quite a bit of room if you haven't got space. It fits just under, I'm assuming, like a standard cupboard area there. So yeah, that is the machine. It looks quite smart, quite easy to use. You know, the settings are all here. It can give you hot water, cold water, all this, and then what you did was put the mineral like glass jar in there, and you could add the minerals back in, because reverse osmosis is basically reversing it to its basically like its kind of original state, but it's got nothing in it whatsoever. So the minerals need to be added back in, whereas most filters try and filter out as much as they can, leaving you with your minerals, what you need for your body. So the first machine I had, that was fine for about, I'd probably say maybe 5 months. So with me, I don't like to do reviews straight away, because a lot of things do break these days. Like, I'll order stuff, it doesn't matter what it is, hair stuff, makeup, vitamins, minerals, water machines, anything, air fryers. I don't like to do a review straight away because I want to see if it actually works, because there's no point buying all this stuff for it to then break in 6 months. So they make out that they've got an offer on. They make out that the machine is originally £4.99 to buy, and they've always got an offer on for £2.99. Now, I've never seen this machine for £4.99 ever. It's never £4.99. It's always sold at £2.99, and then the monthly subscription can be anything up to £30 for the minerals and vitamins, and you can get vitamin D, different things, minerals, zinc and all that, vitamin C. First of all, I put the minerals in, they were all fine. Now, as the months went on, obviously the minerals run out quite quick. Mine were running out within a week. So I kept obviously buying them. I sometimes had to buy extra over the subscription. And I just thought, this is ridiculous. This is costing me a fortune. But I thought, you know, I'll try it, keep trying it. And then it stopped detecting the minerals, as in, when I put it in, there's like a little button that you clip the minerals down into. The bottle is meant to, you know, activate the sensor for it to release the minerals. It stopped doing that. So I'm fiddling with it, trying to, you know, you always think, is it something I've done? What is it? So that was the first thing. It stopped detecting the minerals. Now, I contacted the company and they basically said, you know, have a fiddle with it. It might be the sensor, you know, click the sensor up and down and whatnot. Now, I did that and it kind of worked sometimes and then didn't work other times. And then eventually it stopped detecting them. So I thought, you know, forget this, just forget it. So I cancelled my subscription. And I just thought, you know, I'll do adding my minerals and my vitamins back in myself, which you can do. You don't have to have the subscription. So I did that. And then eventually the machine just stopped working. It stopped filling up and, you know, I could not get it to work. It didn't matter what I did. It just wasn't working. So I contacted the company and they were really good. They were like, oh, we'll send you a new machine out. No questions asked. I thought, wow, okay, brilliant. So they sent me a new one, you know, very fast delivery, sent that out. And then I think that machine lasted a couple of months, then that started playing up and it was something else on the machine. It was like the sensor to, you know, for the part at the back which gets rid of the wastewater. That stopped detecting. So basically the water wasn't filtering because the sensor had gone to suck the dirty water out, or however it does it. So that stopped working. So I contacted them again. They were saying, do this, do that. I mean, I didn't want to start poking about because I thought, well, if I break it, that's my fault. You know, they were telling me to get a tool to do this, you know, unscrew this, unscrew that. I thought, I don't really feel comfortable doing this on a £300 machine. So it got to that one breaking, the second one. So I contacted them. I said, it won't work. You know, I've tried everything. So they said, oh, we'll send you a new machine out. And at this point, I was just like, okay, you know, these are supposedly expensive machines, you know, £300. I wouldn't say it's worth any more than the 300, even though they say it's £4.99 on the website. It's never been that price. So yeah, so they sent me the third one out. Now, when the guy delivered it, I looked down at the box and the box looked fine. So I accepted the delivery. I mean, you know what it's like yourself when you answer the door. It's just a quick, oh yeah, photo, you know, there you go, thank you, bye-bye. Now, when I got the parcel in and looked at it properly, I turned it around and the plug of the actual machine was sticking through the box, and one of the points had come off it. Pins, I think you call them. So one of them had broken off in transit. So I just thought, right, you know, we did discuss fixing it ourselves, putting a new plug on, but I thought, no, you know, I haven't got time for this. Paid a lot of money for this. So I contacted him. I had to send a photo. I said it's obviously been damaged in transit. One of the pins has come off the plugs. No problem, we'll send you another one. I was like, oh, wow, okay. I said, do you want me to send this one back? And they were like, no, you keep that. That's fine, do what you want with it. I was like, okay. So, got another one sent to me. That was fine, plugged it in. Then that started playing up. I thought, you know what, I'm getting a bit sick of this now. This is ridiculous. So, I contacted him. I said, you know, this is not working. This is ridiculous now. This is the 4th machine. Yes, you know, they weren't responsible for the 3rd one being damaged in transit. I mean, it could have been packaged better, or, you know, the plug could have had some kind of bubble wrap on it or something so it didn't poke through. But yeah, they said, we'll make sure we send it properly this time, all packaged up. You know, you'll get a pristine new one. Okay, fine, do that. Now they sent me the other one, the new one. Now that started to break, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I said, right, can I just have my money back, please? I said, you've sent me 4 machines now. I said, and, you know, they've all broke. This is ridiculous. What is going on? You know, fair enough, things happen with electricals, don't they? You know, things break, things are faulty, but 4 machines now. So I said, can I just have a refund, please? Because this is, you know, I haven't got time to do this. Bearing in mind, when my machine breaks, I have to go out then and buy bottled water, because I am not touching tap water. I do not touch tap water at all. I will not compromise on that. And that's where I stand on that. I won't compromise for myself and my family. So, you know, we buy bottled water. These machines were breaking. I had to go buy bottled water until the next machine came. So then, that one, you know, they started saying, we'll send you a new machine out. I said, are you serious? I said, you know, I said, you send it. They said, we don't do refunds. I said, what do you mean you don't do refunds? You know, fair enough, you don't do refunds. Okay, you don't do refunds. Well, that's not translated very well on the website. And where's my consumer rights? You know, I'm buying all these machines. Yes, you're replacing them. But, you know, sum it up with these machines that aren't working. So I said, I just want a refund, please. And they said, oh, we don't do refunds. We can send you another machine out. I said, no. I don't want the machine. I said, I will go to a different company and get a decent machine. I will do my research a bit further and I will buy something else. Oh, well, we don't do refunds. So, you know, and then they wanted to collect the machine. They said, okay, we'll collect it and we'll redo it and all this. I said, I haven't got time for this, you know. I'd have to package the item up, go and post it, do all this. I said, I haven't got time for this. Just give me some type of compensation or something. Anyway, that was back and forth for a good 6 months. You know, I kept saying my consumer rights. I said, what is going on with these machines? I said, why do they keep breaking? Then they started to go into more information about, oh, well, these are just basically prototypes. Right, and I was like, and they said, we're sending them out to the public so that we can see if there's anything wrong with them. So that's why we're sending you so many machines, because my argument was, you won't give me a refund for $299, but you'll keep sending these machines out. So basically I've had over £1,000 worth of machines when you could have just given me the $299. it just didn't make sense to me. So yeah, that was their thing. They said, you know, we send these machines out, we can replace them because we are seeing if they work for the public and what the faults are on them, so we can modify them for the future. Now, I thought that was ridiculous. I told them it was ridiculous. I said, fair enough, maybe you do the first prototype, but you tell the public, and, you know, you shouldn't be charging $299 for a machine that you know fully well is going to break. So I did a bit more research. I looked on Trustpilot, I looked on some reviews, and none of them were good. The same thing had happened with a lot of people. Some woman wrote a Trustpilot review, and they'd actually sent her 9 machines over the course of, I think it was just over a year. They'd sent her 9 machines. And I just thought, you know, I don't want to keep having these machines. So yeah, back and forth with the emails. This was going on for a good 12 months. So, you know, people haven't got time for this. We just want stuff that works. You know, we don't mind paying for stuff that works. You know, especially if it's to benefit our health. You know, we've looked into stuff. So yeah, so in the end, because I pestered and pestered and pestered and I wouldn't let it go, they then came to me and said, we can send you the new one, the new version that's come out, 5.5. I was like, right. They goes, at the moment you've got the 5.2 version. Well, we've done a one now that's the 5.5 version. I said, right, so another machine then. And they said, well, yeah, because we don't do refunds. So I kept on, and then eventually they gave me a partial refund of £100, which, you know, it's not the $299 I paid for, but because they were sending me this new version, this 5.5, and it was guaranteed, this one, you know, we've worked hard on this one, we've been working on this one for months and all that. I said, right, I'll just have to do that then. So I got the £100 back, and I got a brand new 5.5 version. I thought, great. Right, so that machine was given to me at the beginning of this year, and we're now at the beginning of August, and it's just broke again. And obviously now I can't even contact the company because, I mean, yes, I could send them an email saying, just to let you know, this brand new version that you've been working on for months, that's broke as well. So, and it's the same thing, it's the mechanism. So this is the one you fill the water up with. And then what it's meant to do is go through all this filter here and round the other side, and it's meant to extract all the dirty water there, separate all the molecules and all that, which then comes out of here all clean. Well, that's not doing it now. This isn't filling up, it's not. It's meant to, you know, under there, it's meant to censor it and all that, and it's just not working. Oh, and one of the funny things was, that's just reminded me then looking at that machine, because there's a bit of lime scale on top. Not much, but I think we were on the 3rd machine, and they told me it was my fault because I hadn't maintained the machine. Now at the time, I'd had the machine 3 months, I think, and they recommend that you do the maintenance every 6 months. So they told me to buy one of their maintenance cleaning kits off their website, which I think is around £30. Yeah, because apparently I hadn't been maintaining it, so it had filled up with lime scale. No. So, and I didn't buy the kit because I explained to him, I said, the machine's only 3 months old. You recommend to clean it every 6 months, which I have done on my previous machines. You know, I keep it clean. I'm not going to let a £300 machine, you know, build up with lime scale and all this business. You know, I haven't got money to chuck around like this. Yeah, that's one of the things they said to me. You haven't been maintaining it. I said, oh right, okay. Which wasn't true at all. They just wanted me to buy one of the maintenance kits, more money. So what we're at now is, this is broke. We went out and bought some bottled water over the weekend to tide us through, but I've actually had my delivery today of my new machine, which I'm going to do a review on maybe in a couple of months when I've seen how that's going. And that is a gravity filter system which does not run off electric. We've been having a lot of power cuts lately, which means we can't get water. I'm still interested in a reverse osmosis machine, maybe from a different company if I've done some more research on it. But at the moment I'm going to try one of the stainless steel gravity filters, which I'll be reviewing in another video. So yeah, that is my review of the company Skuma. I would not recommend them. You know, this isn't to, you know, put down a company. I'm all for people improving people's health if it's genuine, and you know, I think they need to go away and, you know, go take all the products off and then actually, you know, look at them, look at the complaints they've had, look what the customers have complained about, and then, you know, work on the machine for whatever, how long it takes, a year, 2 years, and then come back with a product that actually works. Because, you know, it's not fair on these people who are buying these products and it keeps breaking and breaking, because at the end of the day I think you'll lose more customers like that because they won't come back and buy again. And like me, they've given me 5 machines now. I don't know, I think it's 5 or 6 machines, and now I've given up on them. I'm not interested. So they've lost me as a customer, you know, instead of giving some sort of you know, refund policy or something like that, and instead of going away and working on the product, they are losing customers now because now I'm not interested in the company whatsoever. And I'm not very happy because, you know, as time went on, because it was getting to 4, 5, 6 months and the machine was good, I recommended it to people, you know, and now I've got to go back and say, you know, sorry for that, sorry for recommending. I mean, what I will say is just make sure you keep pestering these companies. If you're not happy, you know, try and get them to give you, if they say, you know, you can't have a refund, we don't do refunds, you just keep on, because we have got rights. We're paying a lot of money for these products and they can't be going breaking every few months. It's not right. So thank you guys if you enjoyed that, if it gave you some insight into the company, if you were thinking about buying a machine, let me know. Let me know which one you're going for or what you use as a water filter, and I will see you again in another video soon.